And right on the money, we are live. I think I timed that perfectly. Hello, YouTube. I'm on time for the, I don't know which on time I am, which counter, but I've been doing it consistently, so shut y'all ass. I ain't seen anyone saying he's gonna be late again. I killed that noise. So miss me with that finally. But anyways, welcome to the ranting hour, where we rant for at least an hour, because I am starting to go to bed at like 9:30, because I'm an old ass man trying to get up in the morning at 5:30 and go to the gym, because morning gym is the best gym. Blog. We are going off the rails today because we barely have a plan today, but it is what it is. Tonight I am joined by Lion, multiracial Lion. Check out his YouTube. I am so unprepared that I did not set up his YouTube channel in the description, so I'm about to plug it real quick. So keep your eyes on chat, because chat's lit. Y'all are lit. Y'all are also ugly. And I'm also joined by AlphiCross, whose channel I did not set up either. Jesus Christ, I suck. This better be a link to it, or else it's something else. Subscribe to these two idiots, because they are hilarious. Deserve the attention. Am I early for once? I'm on time. Y'all better shut up, man. I said don't do that. But if you're watching the VOD, be sure to leave a comment. If you're in here live, regardless, like the video, helps me out a ton. We were gonna talk about Crevasse, not Crevasse. I wanted to make that joke about the game mode in my video, but I enjoyed it, so I couldn't really do it. But it's just, I think Crevasse is probably the worst name Square Enix has come. No, actually, Sublimate. Sublimate is the worst thing they've made up so far. I'm way off the rails. Before I get going though, I still have the offer open permanently. You can see it on pinned post on my Twitter. If you want to debate me about something, just message me on Twitter. Details there. I actually do have someone who offered to debate me over something that I'm lining up for next week. They were last minute. I'm not going to say who it is. It's a cool person. They just wanted to talk about something, so I figured why not spring some ideas off someone who I know is cool. You know who you are if you're watching. You're a great person, and I'll talk to you next week. I'll message you separately about that. But damn, I didn't do my intros. See, that's how unprepared I was. I had jokes ready to fly. Well, AlphiCross, did you skip Tifa?
Yes.
Yeah, that was going to be part of my intro. He is the only guy to skip Tifa somehow. This man simped so hard for FF14, he did not pull Tifa. That's crazy. And while AlphiCross skipped Tifa, multiracial Lion does not have Tifa. Alfie, how you doing tonight?
Good. I'm still on my hunt for a Shadowbringers Y'shtola body pillow. I have Realm Reborn and Heaven's Word all set up and out of stock and just in my closet. I'm on the hunt for that Black Mage Y'shtola one.
You ready to kill Chaos?
Yes, that too.
Yeah, dude, when we get Jack Garland and DFFOO, like, some people are going to be mad. I'm not mad at that at all. Word. Instant, on site, frame one.
No matter what he's like.
No matter what. Oh, man. When does the game come? It comes out in March, right?
Yeah, March 18th.
Yeah, that game's going to slap. I might upload my runs of that.
Just hearing about it, just think about a dude in a polo shirt rolling up into the game is funny.
Lion, how you doing, man?
That's all right. It's about to start freezing rain out here. So I'm worried that I'm gonna lose power.
Yeah, don't do that. Good players don't lose power. You've been playing. I saw you. I got a notification on your channel. You're playing Destiny recently. I didn't even know you played Destiny in the first place.
Oh yeah, that's been eating up a lot of my time because I've been playing a lot more of that instead of DFFOO during garbage time.
I haven't heard good things about Destiny as of late, but has it been picked up, or you just been a fan in general?
Oh no, I've been playing Destiny since the first game.
Oh,
I'm really excited. The new expansion comes out in just under 3 weeks. So,
wow, I didn't even
really
know they were still getting content.
I used to play Destiny 1 a lot.
They got to do something with all that money that they just got from Sony.
Yeah, I was gonna say they just got caught by Sony. That's a different discussion in itself. We should probably try it. But yeah, it's fun stuff. So I chose one hell of a weekend to be busy and not stream, because I expected to global first, but Garnet's pretty cool. We're both JP players. You guys can, it's pretty unanimous. Like, he's just busted the hell and back. You guys, Alfie, I know you haven't been keeping up with global as much, but did you look at her buffs?
Yes, I did, and I will say this right now: if that released in JP right now, it would still be really good.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
how good the buffs are. Like, holy crap.
And trust me, he's not just saying that because Garnet could give 60% break. You know,
That's the best part, but that's besides the point.
40%
Yeah, no,
HP
she's
cap,
ridiculous.
dog. 40% HP cap. That dumpstered Yuna. And I hate to say it, but Yuna's still stuck at 30% cap. Yuna has the cleanse and that stuff, but Garnet does so much damage, and she has the off-turn stuff and the enchant and the brave gains and the post-turn refund. Refund was the only thing Yuna got on her BT plus, I believe, along with being able to equip an ultimate weapon along with her LD board rework. But Garnet got insane juice. I'm even more scared for what her FR might look like, you know, because that's about to be nuts. FR and then 40% HP cap, along with whatever nonsense we're gonna be able to stack at that point. And it kind of depends on how much they stagger. All right, we're in the wrong. Damn it, we're in the wrong Discord channel, so our names aren't showing up on YouTube. Let me switch over real quick. I always forget that. Whoops. Garnet's HP cap beats Ardyn's copium. Yeah, it'd be like that.
Maybe Zephyr will be really good.
Yeah. Ardyn FR around the corner. I might go for it. No promises.
I'm getting it, Yoshi. It
Yeah.
makes you feel better.
It depends on what it is, because you know they could totally hoe Ardyn again. Because
I'm interested
Go ahead.
because they said that part of the effect is that he's going to be decreasing the amount of time between breaks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's
Yeah.
a
That could
reverse
be real interesting.
Enemies
reverse
recover
fast
from
cast.
breaks faster.
It's reverse fast cast. Karen or Ramza, one, both, or neither. That's the only answer I can give, because it just doesn't. There's no wrong answer to that. Ramza gets his force enhancement boards early though, so that might influence your decision. Hi, Excalibur, you're the goat. Yeah, I don't even know what there is to say about it. I don't even think it's worth, like, the people who were disappointed by Garnet. It feels like that's so small. Like, Garnet was so very obviously broken from the jump. I don't think there's any debate at this. I really don't care what any people have to say. It's like, oh, I'm mad at Garnet. Like, first off, it's Garnet. Watch your mouth. Second off, D Kapow, thanks for the membership. I mean, she's broken. She's gonna trivialize content up and through Shinryu.
Easily.
Yeah, easily. It's not even close. She out damages damage dealers. Like, I'm pretty sure she's about to out. Like, you can be like, oh, you can pair Alice with Garnet to have her abuse that follow up and the BT aura, but it's like you could just, I don't know. It's just totally unbalanced. I don't know what they were smoking, but I'm okay with it. I
Just
like
wait
it.
until she has the 5 out of 5 ultimate weapon, and you stick her with a couple of supports that just have HP up. armor.
Or what you could do is you could bring her and then put that 5 out of 5 ultimate weapon on a damage dealer with higher HP caps, so you could eat off those even higher auras and the higher HP attack, the higher number of HP attacks, which would result in even more damage. Like, fights are literally going to last like 2 seconds. I don't think y'all understand. This is unprecedented amount of damage. I was talking to Ink about it, and he was theorizing that maybe they tweak some of the fights in GL. I don't know.
No.
Hell
No. First of all, that's called effort, and second of all,
Holy crap.
Now to play devil's advocate here, this whole we got a new game mode, and we got an entire BT cycle and a GL exclusive LD board buff rework. Like, I didn't realize until I watched the video that her LD board now refunds skills to make her BT phase better. So not only did she get fast forwarded, she got fast forwarded and buffed. They were smoking something strong. But they have probably no reason to buff endgame content. If anything, I'm subscribing more to the theory that they want to just tone it down, because these new player rewards are pretty fat, by the way. I don't know if you guys looked. Let me find what they are, because I shared them earlier.
The ones on JP?
No, well, the ones in GL, because those are pretty fat
so
too.
Oh,
for GL, it's
those.
like completing chapter 1 is like 20k gems, 100 power stones, which is a big fucking game changer, because
Whoa,
that's
now.
the big
No.
bottleneck
No,
early.
I'm talking. There's a new player like Choke. I found it, by the way. It's 400 power stones, 320 weapon tokens, enough materials to green a BT and blue in armor, 70 EX tokens, 10 LD tokens, and
Might as well just
150k
give them
character
Garnet.
board points. Yeah.
Might as well just give
God
them Garnet.
damn.
They are really trying to get some player, like maybe they're like, all right, we got garbage time. Let's try and rope everyone in while the shit's easy and give them
do
someone
it.
busted and string them along, and then Shinryu could kick up and then be something. I mean, maybe they're in it for the long haul. I mean, because one of my friends who stopped playing earlier, I'm trying to get him. I'm like, yo, get a new account, bro. You got all this free shit. It really is the ideal time. We see all these people starting JP accounts for Tifa and stuff too. I think they did a really good job, like just buffing the hell out of new players on this anniversary.
JP got a lot of like big, like early game, like quality of lives as well.
Yeah,
with the whole, everyone gets up to 70,
Instant-
like instant level
Killing
20
off the
summons and all that.
Yeah. Do you
Like,
think
both
we're getting
games
a
have big
simultaneous release for Jack from Stranger of Paradise? Morningstar 01, to answer your question, what does it matter what I think? Because that doesn't influence whether it happens. I think it'd be cool. He's definitely getting a BT. There's no way he's not getting a BT. I want
He's the
whatever.
finale of Act 3.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That I'd love that. Like it was just Warrior Light and Garland fighting, and he's like, "I came to kill
Yeah,
chaos."
just
And then he beats. Yo, like I'm already geeked off of his potential animations because he's got that crystal shit where he punches the shit out of people. What if that's like his moves? Like his animations are probably going to be top notch.
just Jaggerin, but actually good.
Do you think Transcendence 10 was AIDS?
Yikes.
Yes, Transcendence 10 was AIDS. That was a rough fight.
It is very, very restrictive.
Yeah, they really put a lot into it's not I don't even know if I'd call it restrictive. More so do you have a good FR or not? You know?
It's more like it asks for like a very much higher than average damage output from the player.
Yeah, you just need that FR phase at the end, and you need to hit the debuff condition, which nobody on the banner hit, I think, which was odd.
Funny,
That-
but
yeah.
I guess they just wanted to let it. They made it that way so like the boss would warp up, which means more ticks of X with BT plus. But other than that, it's just weird.
Yeah. I'm hyped for whatever they do with Jack because it's gonna be fun because it's like they're hyping up their own
Yeah,
creation.
Jack FR partner.
Oh yes, yes. or fucking pair with Garland. Well, yeah, that's the obvious
That'd also
choice.
be great.
Yeah. But I wanted to talk. So, Lion, you didn't do Spiritus yet, but you've been doing the board farm. I think this was largely a good. It looks like Spiritus is only going to be for the board farm, and what I didn't realize was that doing the Spiritus fight. And so, to give some details, there's rankings, but the rankings seem more of a. I tried it and I couldn't get all the way, so I knocked out some of my farmer. It seems like more of a. I mean, you get decent rewards. I think it's at the C level, which is at 60. Alpha, I was actually reading your. I was reading your description in your video while I was doing my video. Trying to figure it out.
I can explain this if you want.
Yeah, please do.
So, for this particular fight, the more HP that you take off of the boss, the better your ranking is. And the higher your rank, the more rewards there are. So, like, if you get rank C, you'll get the rank C rewards and all the rewards below it. That's pretty much what the whole ranking
Wasn't the
system
bottom
is
one
like.
was C, though? Wasn't the bottom C?
Was there not D rank?
I am pretty sure it was
5.
I'm pretty sure.
It's,
No. I think D is just. I don't know.
D is the low one.
The pretty much point is there. If you get a high rank, you'll get the rewards on the lower ranks as well.
See, time to pull up your video again.
So pretty much, you will. What we're trying to say is, you will always get a rank, even if you didn't beat the boss, depending on where you are in the fight.
Yeah, but unfortunately, yeah, like it's like American school systems where 60% health is you get a D rank. So, but this thing has 210 million HP. So, quick maths, that is. Never mind. Can't do the mental math while I'm talking out loud. But that's a lot of HP to cut through. So, it is not like, I can't do Shinryu, but maybe I have a fighting chance if I can. Like 60% is like at least like one FR burned at that point, and then some change. So, if you weren't doing Shinryu beforehand, this still isn't happening for you. But I did have a run where I kicked the bucket at the end because I didn't set up my BT phase properly, and then that 20 million shield at the end caught me off guard. But so I think it's more like oh shit, I didn't cross the finish line, but I'll call it. And you have to specifically say like, all right, I give up, and there's a button for that, and then you can get the low rewards. Because if you die, then you get nothing. that was my very first run. I died, and I'm like, all right, at least I'll get the C ranking, and then I got nothing. I'm like, well, shit. And then no, you got to know when to call it, or else you're screwed. That was funny, but and that gives you keys, and the keys open chests, which are part of the board farm. And so so if you don't want to farm as much, if you do the Spiritus, I think that gives you like 7 keys. I want to say it gives you a significant number of keys. So doing the hard fight cuts down your farm like crazy. And then there's this array of panel missions that you can do for like bringing a fist or bring Type 0, or basically bringing the things on the banner. And it's a 2x boost if they're super synergy, and it's a 1x boost if they're not super synergy. So like if I brought like Tifa, Selfie, and Bart's are all orange. Is it yellow or orange? I always go. It's definitely yellow crystal, right?
They call it yellow.
That shit's orange. Anyways, they were all 3 of those men were on banner. So bringing them for the 6, and you could hit multiple conditions at once. But once you fill that mission, there's points there, and once you fill that out, then you get a key. And once you get 10 keys, you're done with the farm. I don't know exactly how many doing an S rank on the Spiritus gives, but that required less chaos runs on your end. So I think it's a nice it's definitely an upgrade from the divine boards, because I almost did all the missions because I thought you had to, but then I realized, oh wait, shit, I have enough keys. And the best part is they tell you what's in the chest before you open them. So for all you degenerates like me who are about to cap on tickets, you can choose not to claim those tickets, but you can get the gems and the force shards other ways. So that's cool. I don't think it's the customizable difficulty like Crevasse we just got in GL that people wanted, because it's still just like crystal and series and other bullshit, and the hard stuff is still, it's Shinryu with a twist. It's not, they didn't change anything stats wise, spirits wise. So I really do think it's just going to be exclusive to summons and summon farming. So don't get hype, because it doesn't look like that's going in. It's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and like the reason why we think Spiritus is only going to be on summons is because for this specific fight you cannot bring a friend support, and I highly doubt they'll just cut out like an integral part of the game. Yeah. Even if most of us, or at least some of us, do runs without a friend support, there's still others that still use them.
He's my friend all the time. What are you talking about?
Fight to get a grade S on this specific fight is actually pretty hard, because it's 210 million HP, like we said. We also have to beat it at 50 turns, so that's very, very high damage output. Yeah. And I feel like this fight is going to get like blown off to the side a little bit. Pretty much is going to go underneath
because everyone's bringing Tifa.
Yes, because everyone's using Tifa. Yes. People are blowing it real fast.
Yes.
It's kind of like when Lightning's raid came out with her LD and BT on GP, like almost everyone used Lightning. So it just flew under the radar. But on GL, when we were like, all right, let's not use Lightning, the fight was actually pretty damn hard. And I feel like this specific stage is going to be another example of that. Because when I did my run, it took me forever doing it without Tifa.
Yeah, you used Core and Gladio, so you had to lean a lot into off-turn stuff to hit that.
Yeah. That's a lot of planning and trial and error I did.
Yeah. And I had Tifa's FR because good players get the weapon, but I didn't have her BT. So even then, I had to use 1 Luna Freya FR and 2 Tifa. Or maybe, no, I got 2 Luna Freya FRs and 1 Tifa FR, and I still barely got turns. So that fight's, I mean, Tifa getting an extra 6 HP attacks added onto her stuff, especially when Force Time's active, that really adds up. So taking that away, yeah, I agree. Use FF11 Tifa. I see you. Fucking MMO simp. So Lion, you have that to look forward to. But if you are planning on doing the Spiritus, don't do all of the Chaos missions because you're wasting your time.
Yeah, that's good information to have.
Yeah.
Because I have been wasting my time apparently.
Yeah. I don't know exactly how many it gives, but it definitely, yeah, I'm glad I noticed. Drez64 for $5. Does the amount of BT ingots given out for JP anniversary change the way you will save on global? I don't count that stuff. That's a knee-jerk question. I don't even know how many. So we got that. Are you guys doing the Twitter campaign, by the way? You should do that.
No,
Yes.
I'm
Do
lazy.
that. Dude,
I missed
it's
the
so
first day.
it's so easy. You just like
It is
30 posts
easy.
a day, and you get a BT ingot and some Force stuff. You
I think
can't
I'm already like a day behind.
Dude, it's don't no. You have plenty of time. It's only been out for 3 days. You better start after this. I'm gonna harass you after this. You better start.
Oh, God.
It's free stuff, dude. It's free stuff.
It is. It's free.
Yeah, all right, yeah, whatever.
I use Core, Titus, and Cam. Yeah, Titus, Machina being the other heavy single target options.
Yeah,
But if
Titus, Machina, Core especially. Core is a very
Yeah.
popular choice.
I'm sure Prish hurt more because she doesn't have the Force enhancement boards, and that slows your runs down. You really
He did
feel
fine
that.
for my damage.
Well, I mean,
Granted,
damage.
mine has 5/5 Ultima, so the damage was okay.
Yeah, that would do it too. But I'm just saying, her turns not charging the gauge as much hurts.
Oh, that part, yeah.
Yes.
It was a
You
little bit. Yeah.
really feel that. It makes it hard to run non-force enhancement units. Good on them giving Selfie her force supports this early.
That is dumb.
Yeah, I don't. They're fried. They're fried. I don't know what they were thinking.
Tifa and Selfie, like holy
Tifa
crap.
and Selfie. I think Bart's and Jack and 8 are still kind of sad. I don't think their C90s did much for them, unfortunately. Just C90 and no FR at this point is kind of just like,
What did
yeah.
Jack even do?
I mean, he got more the usual bullshit, more HP attacks.
More dumb, obviously.
Yeah,
but,
He
like,
just does more
just
HP
save?
attacks.
What was that line?
I think he just does more HP attacks.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
I think his debuff lasts longer.
I don't think so. And what was I gonna say? They featured Jack on who needs a broken target to do his follow up on a fight that doesn't break. That's funny. I mean,
like Zidane on Safer Step.
yeah. I mean, if they really wanted a way to not show off Jack, this was the fight to do it. And then 8 only got his LD counters 100% AOE, but still 1 HP attack, and his EX counters 2 HP attacks. I mean, I'm sorry.
It's 3 dumps
It's
a
pretty
counter, but it's still like a long animation.
Yeah, that too. Spam for FR gauge gases. I don't even do that anymore, honestly. I don't feel the need to. I just play naturally. It was an easy option for setting up like Titus one shots, but now if you just play naturally, it's because we were trying to budget our force enhancement points early on, and then being cheap with Ignis, and then going in one shot was the economical option. But now that we have more, and also they're giving out more shards too. Once we got more, it's easier to just play like a normal person. It just really does feel bad if you're running non-force enhanced units. He'll be called Jack Garland most likely. Y'all are still talking about this? Yeah, VL pointing out Jack can't break the horse. I don't know if this worked for everyone, but when I cut through the shield at the end, the boss just died. It said that he had 7%. Yeah, the boss just dies when the shield goes down.
If you go through the shield, the boss will automatically die. You don't need to pick off the remaining
it's
HP.
Weird that they did it like that. Maybe it was like an HP gate, so you couldn't one-shot it. That's what
The HP shield occurs at 9%, which roughly equates to 20 million HP. So in a sense, it's doing the last 9% of his HP, but without any brave gains for refunds.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, because I don't even know if it's so is it possible to get a 20 million HP attack sub 10% and shoot him past it? Do you know if that's possible?
Like to nuke him down in one go.
Like would we be able to bypass the HP shield if we brought him from 10 to
Funny
0?
enough, I was actually trying to do that with my Prish run.
Oh, yeah?
But I keep falling like 1%, 2% short, so I actually can't tell you. I don't know if that's the case.
I
You
mean,
can.
Let me know.
How you doing?
Is the show happening?
Yes, we're live.
Can I be here?
Sure.
Okay, I gotta go on the hour, and I'm drunk, but I'm here.
Okay. Thanks. Thanks.
I'm here to help you.
Thanks. We just done talking about kind of the Spiritus and how it's not anything like new, really. It's just a side grade, and it just speeds up your farm, which is.
I heard Cross, I think, talk about how they suspect it is summon board only. In the Ope, they specifically said for now summon only, maybe looking into Transcendence and 6-man as well.
Yeah, that makes sense because that's pretty much
Right. So
That's
that's
interesting
so that's
for
confirmed that
Transcendence.
they're not going to drop it in regular events.
yeah, that makes
At
sense.
least right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that honestly, that'd be cool. And I think I'd like that. And if that's the norm in non-friend content, that's cool because it does give people that eject button if they fuck up and they can get some temporary rewards. So yeah, I'm okay. I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah, for the like add the end game to the harder modes that are already harder, right? The lockout content, which is Transcendence, and I guess 6-man is kind of a lockout as well because it requires a larger roster.
That's
It doesn't lock out.
literally not a lockout. It's just
Look,
It's
you need
just-
6 fucking people.
it's not a lockout.
That's
That's just
more
roster,
than 3.
Words mean things. Roster depth, not a lockout.
And so people who can't reach that level of roster depth, as we're seeing with you guys haven't gotten to Crevasse yet, but like as we're seeing with Crevasse, the things that require a larger roster that isn't accessible for new players, it makes sense they would get partial rewards for just hurting the boss.
Now, we also said that new players aren't even going to get close to scratching that minimum threshold, so it's not for them. It's just a choke button.
What
probably-
minimum threshold?
Because the first threshold is at 60% of the Shinry on the Spiritus, which is whatever 40% of 210%, 210 million health is. So if you're not good at the game, you're not even getting close to that. So you're not even getting the minimum. But if you scratch it at least, if you're in the
No,
ballpark.
we're differentiating between shit players and new players, right? Because there are already people jumping onto JP and within one sitting 100%ing Shinryu with an easy team of like Max Tifa, Max Core, Max Lunafreya. Boom, done.
Lunafreya is not available right now.
I don't know how this person. There's somebody in the Frog server who's been playing for a day, and
Tifa, we were saying Tifa hard carries the stage.
did Shinryu in 14 turns in a day.
Getting to 60% health means you gotta deal 84 million HP damage. So that's a force time, and that's
a lot.
More than likely, yeah. So you need to probably have pulled teeth or have something recent. Okay, but that's an interesting. So they're Jesus Christ! Let me drink some water.
Well, he's
Had a
drinking
stroke
water.
right there.
Watching a lot of new players recently join Global and JP, which is good work to the devs. They've attracted a lot of people back. Great job to them. So many
Yeah,
people I know
smart.
who've taken a break or burnt out have come back because of the anniversary and the like new player incentive.
Yeah, they
Everyone
did
who's
that thing,
coming back is crushing content, no fucking problem. In GL, if you pull Garnet, she can solo 99% of the Lufania
Did you
Plus.
hear me co-signing your theory that they doubled down on garbage time and they wanted to get people
Oh yeah, no,
accustomed to the
that's
game?
totally true. I'm hammering that in tomorrow on the show as
Yeah.
well. And so like Garnet solos 99% of the fucking fight. People underestimate Garnet because she's
they?
already been proven to solo all the Lufania Plus stages of Crevasse. And people are like, shit, I don't know how I'm gonna get 3 green staffs through. She solos every single one, proven. It's been recorded. And and same with Shinryu. New players, I've known new players, Mark included, who jumped in and in 1 hour max Tifa and finished Shinryu with an S. So new players versus shit players. Look, the mythical new player is not having problems with the game. If you're really fucking bad at the game, you're struggling with the game. New players, you can jump onto either version right now and do all of the content in a day.
Yeah, Mug kept saying GL Dev said garbage time already. Heroes making more garbage. I mean, I'm guilty. I invited a friend. Mino, you missed out. Pretty much, we're rehashing a lot of the stuff we already said, but one of my friends came back too when they picked up the game earlier and dropped it. So yeah, I think
Which one? The one that was doing challenge runs and 0 turns?
No, different friend.
Alright.
So yeah, good on them. Getting people into the game. Smart. They want to succeed for once. It's weird. Like they're doing something unanimously intelligent, and those new player rewards are loaded. I mean, you just show that to people like, yeah, like that. This is what's up. So I'm glad they're at least touching on making more interesting content. AlphaNo did not do Crevasse, and neither did Lion. But are you too familiar with how it's set up at all? I guess like going over it slightly.
Yeah, I know
Yeah,
how
just
it
the-
all works. I just haven't done
with the
it yet.
lack. So everyone and their mother has talked about the resets being hard, and it is important to acknowledge that this is a beta. Let me link that video in the chat. It's important to realize that this is a beta. So I don't know who was. I know you guys were around for the Abyss beta, but not everyone was. Abyss had a beta at some point. Mino, do you remember, or do any of you remember how rough it? I don't remember the issues it was. I remember it was
everything
like
all
filler,
the time.
right? Oh,
It was the problem was that there were several yellow throwing requirements in the beta, and the only person who could do that in the game was Lael. So if you didn't have Lael, you weren't finishing it.
okay. There was that. We also had the infamous like 50 million blue dagger requirement. So Abyss had some rough patches too, and I'm
I
still.
think they had like 3 betas or something, right?
Yeah,
Before
they
came out.
it took some time. There's almost certainly no way they haven't heard. That was a double negative. That they need a reset for the conditions. Like if I want to select a condition, it should tell me that it's going to overwrite something, but it shouldn't just flat out unlock it, because it really is a pain in the ass. Twice now I have attempted to try and go back and use my roster to get some more points, and then I said I don't feel like it, because it was just a pain having to go through all that. And there is a quick way to get around it. If you bring 3 characters from 3 different stages and complete the Cosmos, that will clear out 3. Excuse me, it will clear out 3 stages at once. So if you're looking for some easy resets, you just need to clear the Cosmos once or twice, depending on who you've used, and that can get you some characters back. But like, there's definitely some quality of life that can go here. Wingby for $10, 200 people and 55 likes. Y'all better change that. Y'all gonna make me get on my Kevin Samuels one day. I'm promising it, but I'm a really just rank it up one day and just kick on the royalty-free music and say get the likes up. People talking about how they used their units horribly. Yeah, I barely got 300. I think I got like 302 because I didn't optimize for points in my first runs. I tried a little, but I didn't try that much, and I ended up having to scrape by on the on the chaos. I do like what they were going for here, though. I think one of the funniest comments I read on Reddit, I shared this with you, was that you're not in for a good time if you're not great.
What the fuck? I don't remember reading that.
Really, I gotta find it again. There was some people crying about, like, you're gonna have a hard time on this fight if you're not great at the game. Like, whoa, hard stuff. And if you're not great, you might struggle a little. Shocker. I mean, if that's probably the worst complaint I've heard so far. What else was kind of rough? I think I kind of nailed everything. I know Ink was fielding some ideas, and I wish he wasn't busy today so we could hear what he was trying to say on that. It wasn't quite the customizable content he was looking for, because he wanted to be able to like toggle orbs completely. I think I don't know exactly. He'll correct me.
He wanted so I looked into the Pokemon Masters thing. It was a thing I linked to about someone was trying to invent their custom rules of Magic the Gathering. Do you not remember that post? I was trying to fucking remind you of that post because that's what Ink was asking for, and you said you were confused. It was a whole like, oh, I don't think Magic the Gathering should be decided on a win-lose-defeat situation. It should be a point system. Like, you get a certain amount of points deducted if you use meta units, and I get a certain amount of points if I win with Gimp cards, and if I do an all-themed deck, like all-flying deck or something like that. So Ink was saying, like, it should be a point system, so I should get 5 points for using magic damage. And then I should get, like, 15 points for using a launch or something like that. And then you just do mechanics and you add up points. That's what Ink wants.
Do you remember this was pre-Chaos and JP, the proto Abyss that they scrapped immediately, where you had to do stuff like 30,000 in brave damage and do a certain amount of launches, and that shit was garbage.
Oh yeah, of course. No, I think it's shit too. But the thing is, okay, so here's the thing. So shouldn't Spiritus is closer to what he wants, right? No. Closer, because what he wants is like what you're describing. The beta is a yes or no binary. Did you succeed or not? Ink does not like that. Not binary checks. Not did you do 300k damage or not. He does not want that. He wants points rewarded for things, not a pass-fail system. Like, they don't want a fail option. They want points accrued for everything done, not a fail option. So Spiritus is closer to that because you get points accrued for turn count and damage done. Right? I think that's closer to what he wants than this.
It's okay. I'll agree with you closer. I think on paper than in practice, because you need an F. You need to be endgame viable to even get a D at that.
Right. Of course.
So also, before I let this pass, Excalibur. I hope they make it so that the codes you select don't get reset when you quit the fight and retry again. Yes. That was very annoying. So if you're not doing this yet, Alfie and Lion, make sure your codes are active before you start the fight, because if you back out and then go back in for a second, you lose everything. There's also there's a crash happening. Yeah, like if you're like, oh shit, I forgot to choose the wrong one, and then you back out, it doesn't save anything. So you need to be very sure that what you're starting with. And there's been multiple people, I think this happened to me once too, where I finished a fight and I forgot. Also, if you select reform, the reform button in the menu, it does not keep your codes as well. So be very careful that you're choosing your stuff correctly.
So you just have to go back in and reselect it, or?
So let's say like I was running my Pain Barret Machina team, and I have all the codes set up, I have the orb, and then I hit the back button on the top right, for example. If I go back in, all those codes will be reset, and I got to select them all over again. Or if I back out of the fight, there's just no memory. So if you don't hit start in that instant, or if you use the reform button, you'll lose all your codes. So just be careful of that. It's a little janky. It's a beta again. So you got to watch out for that. But I mean, it was a good concept overall. Make your own fight. Some people called it lazy. Some people had struggles with it because these were, a mixed bag on this, because Alfie, Lion, do you know what bosses the fights have?
Yes.
It's the RNA CPU and what was the last one?
The moths.
The moths, yeah.
Yeah. There's a line, where you can. There's customizing the fight, and then I'm not a big fan of the code shit. Honestly, I never have, even with Abyss, because it just feels tacked on with the colors and the weapons and stuff. It feels like it doesn't feel like an interesting. I'd rather the bosses have. I was having this discussion with Mino earlier in the week. I'd rather the bosses have mechanics, because I had a run where I tried to do triple greatsword, and this was admittedly a horrible team. It was Orin, Beatrix, and Jekt, and I wasn't doing enough damage to the point where I got caught in a healing loop, where the ads would heal. It was the moss, and the ads would heal the boss, and I was not doing enough damage. I'm like, well, this kind of sucks. So I just brought Len and said, screw it. Like there's a line where you can set up your teams to be kind of cute like that, but then it just becomes like impractical team building. You're not playing against the bosses, you're playing against like arbitrary gates, and I didn't find that very engaging. And I didn't watch the stream, so Mino, I know you did, but I think you said Josh said something about they tuned this one down a little bit. Is that true? I don't know if I remember correctly.
They said in his paraphrasing his words, they said they undertuned it because it's a beta and they wanted everyone to get the rewards. So I think what that means is getting the rewards 250 or 300 might have been undertuned.
Okay.
The perfect score, maybe not. Who knows? But they did say that like to get all the rewards, they would make it pretty lenient.
Okay. Yeah, and I'd imagine we'd hear a lot more tears if they raised the bar a little. But if anything, it highlighted for me, and I guess having played JP and Shinryu, aside from I wanted to bring up too about the Spiritus boss. That boss did like nothing.
Boss itself did nothing.
The boss did absolutely.
It's more like just trying to kill it under 50 turns.
Yes, that I expected the force attack to actually have an HP attack attached. And then it didn't. It was just an AoE brave hit. I was like, wait, have we regressed? What's going on here? No, not. And then Core's fight was all like people are just jerking themselves off, beating Core's fight and then beating the Spiritus when those fights were not mechanically challenging in the slightest.
Yep, agreed.
So that makes me think it's all intentional
Oh,
once
it's like
again.
exactly. With all the new player incentives, all the
Yeah.
quality of life,
Good
Tifa
lord,
coming
Chorus
out,
fight doesn't
people
do anything. You kill the
people
ad and you're
are
never in
melting
danger.
fights, and then
Yeah.
they're gonna start ramping it up, and then suddenly all the tough guys will scream out that it's too hard.
Oh, I'm taking names of the new JP accounts. Seeing how long they stick around. The Reaper is coming, y'all. Something's gonna smack us around again. It always happens like a month or so after anniversary.
Always that one fight.
There's that one fight, and everyone's like, "All right, JP's too hard." Like that, So last year was with BT Plus was on anniversary, right? And we got Zidane and stuff.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of new accounts, and then a month later we got Vayne's fight, and people got smited off the face of the earth. Oh man. So
Rain cycle, Rain's event.
And then Big Tatsu, and then the Doom posting begins. Yes.
Yeah.
There's vestiges of people saying FR era ruined is ruining JP. And that's from people who definitely aren't playing it right now. Because I think JP, if anything, feels better than it's ever felt in a while. I was also fielding the idea that maybe the game would have been better off if we get FR before BT. Solely because it's just an idea floating around in my head. Assuming that we didn't get insane cap increases. But because a big problem with Garbage Time and BT Plus was that it felt bad to not bring BT pluses at a certain point because the gap in time that it took, this is my opinion, it just didn't feel worth it. Like, all right, I didn't bring a BT plus. Like, the fight took longer, but the fight wasn't doing that much in the first place. And I think this segued hard because I was noticing in the Crevasse fights, the RNA bosses have some mechanics at least, but the moths, they don't really do anything except heal, which is pretty boring. And the CPU, there's 3 things that do different attacks, but they only each do one thing. Like the main node will just HP attack you every turn, and then the buff node will just heal it and buff it every turn, and then the attacker node just debuffs you. And that's ultimately not that much to deal with, like compared to like threshold attacks and anything else. That's like there wasn't just much danger. Like, what do you have to do against the main node? Like dodge or mitigate or just heal afterwards? Because it's just a single HP attack. Big deal. Train of thought completely lost. Jesus. But that's where I was. If FR was introduced first, and this is still just a theory floating in the wild, it wouldn't feel as bad to not bring BT plus units. Because now I'm like, all right, like I want to bring my FR units, and now it's across the board. Like with LD, you're like, all right, they have an LD, but BT is such a huge power spike, and the only way to really creep BT phases and HP damage upstacking and HP cap raises was to give everyone an HP cap raise in the FR. Does that make sense?
I see where you're going.
Yeah.
Okay.
More or less.
Because now you can be like, all right, because usually pre-FR, I'd be like, all right, let me build my team around the BT to do my BT phase, but that selection was pretty limited. But since everyone and their mom's getting an FR, now I build around my FR first, and that doesn't have to necessarily be a BT unit, and it feels more natural, I think.
I get you now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you now.
And I think I like the game more for it. I think it was inevitable that FR was quite literally the only way they could balance BT plus, because something had to be better.
I think part of that whole like feeling you're getting is mainly because FR is like the next tier, like the next gotcha tier, and it's more of a universal thing, whereas BTs are still like a select group of characters.
Yeah,
I like that insight. It's a good shit point.
It's more like now, like with Sabin, like I build my team when I do my Sabin runs. I build my team around Sabin's FR. I don't build it around Machina's BT phase.
Exactly.
Yes,
exactly.
And that feels a lot more. It feels like BT units aren't getting higher. I mean, obviously, if you have BT and an FR, then you're just cracked. That's a different story. But you could bring BT units that don't have FR and bounce. So that's kind of what I kind of wanted to talk about last week before we kind of went into the garbage time rants. But I've been just having so much fun with Sabin, building around, because it's high. It rewards team building. Some of the big issues, and I don't know if I'm repeating myself from last week at this point, because I've been saying this stuff for a bit, but it's HP damage up calls don't feel as necessary anymore. Do you guys agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because especially like late Lufenia Plus, And I really feel like I've had this conversation with people, but before it's like, all right, just stack HP damage up, stack HP caps up. That's the tweak. That's it. That's why Garnet's so broken in GL right now, because HP cap is it's the final part of the equation. Like you raised your brave damage enough, you're capping your HP attacks, and once you're capping your HP attacks, the only thing you can raise at that point is your HP cap. So it's ultimate weapons and BT effects. But now with FR, that took the spot as the limiting factor in how much damage you can do. And since it's more accessible to everyone to max out your FR, like I was able to bring a base Fujin call and a Ash LD call, and I did more damage with overall during the fight than if I had brought a Kurasame call and a Laguna LD call. I think that
I want to say one more.
I didn't have anything to say. Please go ahead.
Okay, and I want to add on to that. When I was doing my Spiritus run with Core, Prish, and Gladio, for that 20 million HP shield, I was struggling. That was the ending of my run, of all of my failed runs, was trying to chew through that shield. And I was using Seymour Call for extra HP damage up and all that, since I wasn't going to be gaining any bravery from refunds.
Right.
But I swapped it out for a Kate Sith call and just Prish crit my way through the shield, and that made the whole difference. I crushed it instantly on the next attempt.
Yes, and I think so calls have been rebalanced. I think really, and Mino says he claimed credit for the C90 rebalancing thing. I'm going to give it to him just because I don't care enough. But and it does not excuse the lack of bosses having any teeth during late Lufenia Plus, but they recouped their tech debt from making EX Plus and not having EX as extendable, and I think the game's in a lot better state for it. And I really do think it's probably it's shaping up to be one of the peaks of DFFOO. That's my opinion. It feels good right now.
I think what makes the HP damage calls less valuable, like they're still helpful, just less valuable, is that most of our damage is coming from FR gauges instead, like using force times. And if you have an HP damage up call with force time active, that's a smaller HP damage up increase. Like it's probably not as noticeable.
You don't feel it, yeah.
So that's why HP damage up. That's why HP damage up calls feel less valuable now as opposed to back then. Because everything's around force times and doing burst damage, not burst phases, but like burst damage during your force times and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. It's interesting working around it, and then they made it more accessible with the rewards. I think it's evening out. I think some of the people saying FRAO is going to kill the game. It's just the same shit people always say, so I don't care about that.
Like when people freak out about these bosses having a bajillion HP, and then
context.
I'm always there like, when you actually play it and get FRs, those HP values feel normal. Sometimes they feel on like a little bit more on the extreme side, like Fujin's event without cam keys.
I think Fujin is the second worst FR after Kane, by the way.
I agree that Kane is the worst.
Yes, Kane is undoubtedly the worst.
Kane himself is good. His FR sucks.
Kane is amazing. Kane's been used in so many of my runs, but his FR is just ass and titties. It's not okay. It's bad. Fujin's is I think right afterwards, because she's plus 20 on wind and plus 40 on launches that she initiates.
It has to be her.
Yes, it has to be her. That's a really bad condition. I think I'd use rather anyone else.
Well, I was saying, there are times where it feels like the HP feels a lot more extreme, like what I said, Fujin's event.
Yeah.
Without cam cheese. Yeah. But overall, it feels very, very natural. Like, it feels normal for the most part.
Serial says, I think the only bad thing about JP current levels is the right amount of brave dump. Good on you for getting it right, because Mino would have had a stroke. You don't care about how much dump it is anymore. You just know it deals damage. I've been to that spot for a while. I personally, people don't like the screen bloat, and I feel that way very minimally, only because I want to see the effects. But otherwise, I haven't cared about how many brave attack people do in a long time.
You see that I was like that even before FR. Like, that wasn't just an FR thing.
Yeah.
Unless you're Thancred, then that's when I care. But other than that, I don't really care how many dumps you really do.
Usually, like, it's just
if
HP
you see a lot of red numbers, that's good enough for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all relative. Like once you like people obsessing over same thing with people obsessing over any specific number in general. Like people like Llyud has 140% attack. Where I'm like, what does that mean in practice? It means it's bigger.
Thank you, Cross. Thank you so much, Cross, because I've been playing the same way for so fucking long too.
Cross.
I was about to say
Cross?
that's the second time you've done that.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was a
Cross ain't
mistake
here,
or not.
bro.
I'm drunk. I'm not looking at the screen.
Dog,
I don't know who's talking.
his name
I
is
just
on
assume.
screen.
I know BC's name is voice. I don't know. The rest
Wow.
Fine, Lion. Was it Lion who said that
No,
then?
no.
Wow.
What is happening?
That's
But
yeah,
anyways,
it's
thank you whoever talked that wasn't BC, because that's how I felt in the longest way. And
Holy
Anniversary has really
Is
been
this a
bringing
gag?
out. Anniversary's really been bringing out the worst of these fucking people too.
Thank
I can't
you.
tell you how many fucking people have been running Garnet through the ringer or trying to compare
Oh
her to
no,
others.
he
Or-
meant it because he mentioned Cross in the chat. Oh my god.
Because at this point, why are people testing Garnet? I feel like that's such a waste of your time. You must have zero fucking life if you're trying to run Garnet against every other support. All you need to know is Garnet is a GL first, and she is the best. That is all you need to know. I don't need to know how much better she is than Llyud and Queen, which have been real conversations this whole fucking week. Like, oh, pull Garnet, but Llyud and Queen also are. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about Llyud and Queen. Garnet wins. And
Yeah,
then
it's no
people are like,
contest.
oh, she has so many auras, I can't keep track of what they all do. You don't need to.
Yeah, you really
She's
don't
the
need
best.
to.
You don't
it's
need
just
to.
big damage.
Like, once you differentiate where all the numbers are coming from, what the fuck does that change?
Yeah, tell
what does
me
that
tell me
change?
what I Brave Up 50% does.
I've seen her solo almost every single Lufania Plus now, including Shiva, at this point. What the fuck does it change how much better she is than everyone else? Because, one, you just use Garnet and you win. I don't care how much, like, I swear to God, no, I'm calling out anyone listening to this. If you are trying to compare Garnet's numbers, or parse why she's better than all the supports, or who is close to her, you are wasting your
parts
fucking
now.
life.
You really are wasting your time.
You are wasting your
It's
fucking
good.
life. You have no fucking life if you're trying to tell me how much better Garnet is. She wins. She is the best. I don't need to know how much or why she's the best. She's the best. All right. No, you guys are laughing. I'm mad. I'm legit
No, I
mad.
mean I
'cause every time I
understand.
pick this right now.
I've been seeing these Garnet double Garnet. I mean I called it in my video like these double Garnet featuring X showcases. I'm like, really? We're doing this
Like,
again?
yeah, like, I don't care. People are like, oh, here's Garnet on Entropy 20, 19, and 18. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah. It's such
Like, here's Garnet on Queen's Lufania. Who cares? You guys are so I was telling BC, and I'm gonna go all out on tomorrow's podcast.
yeah. Tune into the
show.
TCC podcast tomorrow.
But,
Mino's pissed.
But like I was saying, Garnet is they're getting smarter. Okay, when you compare the GL firsts sequentially, you had Aranea, who is very obviously very strong, and everyone knew it because she pressed a button. Beatrix too. Like nobody gave a shit about Beatrix's aura. She's the first person to have multiple dumps, and that's why her damage was so high. Aranea as well. So when you use them, you know they're carrying. Even the dumbest player knew that Aranea and Beatrix was carrying their team. Then you have Core, who is a link attacker. And then all of a sudden people weren't sure if Core was carrying, because I know everyone in this fucking chat knows that we've all seen, oh, Core's not that strong. Core enables my Freya damage, right? Like, Core's just a support. Like, once you start thinning the numbers out to auras and follow-ups, then people aren't sure if you're carrying, right? So all of a sudden you
Being
have
able to
Core,
count.
and then
Math.
no one, many people did not think Core was OP. They just thought, oh, Core is a great character because he's enabling my favorites to do a lot of damage. And now you have the next step in that evolution, and that's Garnet. Garnet is a pure aura bot. Nobody knows how auras work. All right, nobody has passed middle school grade math, because we have day one players doing Crevasse who are saying that, oh shit, why am I doing ones in old Lufania pluses? Nobody knows how auras work. Nobody can add the math. They'll see Llyud and say 130% attack, and they don't know what that means, right? Like Brave damage up,
Potencies.
HP cap up.
Potencies.
Nobody knows what
Potencies.
any of this shit means. Garnet is a perfect character because she just sits there. Well, she does a lot of damage herself,
Yeah,
sure.
she actually out DPSs a lot of characters.
Right. But her auras are where the fucking prize are. And nobody understands how auras work. So already, like 3 days after her release, already we have people saying Garnet plus Prompto. Look how great Prompto ZX is. Garnet plus Sid. Look how much damage Sid is doing. I predict in 2 weeks, Gilgamesh will come out. Why didn't anyone hype out Gilgamesh? I'm putting him with Garnet, and he's doing like 20 million in his burst phase. Nobody understands how auras work. This is such a fucking ingenious thing. So they're not going to think Garnet is OP. They're going to think, oh my god, I'm a master team builder. I put Garnet on this team, and I finished this fight in less than 10 turns. People like the DFFOO player base is stupid as shit.
Yes.
Like I can throw a dart randomly in this audience, pull somebody out, and tell me pick 2 aura bots that will net you the most amount of damage, and they will all fail because none of you understand math or statistics or this game that you playing for 5 years.
You need Google Chrome extensions.
Yeah, you all need a spreadsheet to beat Crevasse. And like Garnet is the most brilliant GL first because for the next 5 months, all of these people will think they're tactical masters, brilliant strategic minds, prodigies that are building these characters and getting numbers out of these JP like shitters like that people have been skipping over the tailgate end of this LD era, like Thancred and Edgar and stuff. They'll be busting out millions of damage on each of these characters with Garnet in the team and thinking, I know how to play the game by putting Garnet in the team. And as BC said, he allegedly said they're doubling down on garbage time. Every garbage time, people forget how to play the game.
Yeah.
How many posts have you seen where people ran double RNA Chaos, and then when Lufania came, they just ate shit and quit the game
Yes.
because all of a sudden double RNA isn't working anymore. Same with Beatrix. Same with JP saw this in garbage time going into
History
Shinryu.
repeats.
So many people don't learn the game. They sit on this crutch, and Garnet is a super motherfucking crutch.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm literally just gonna ignore every Garnet clear for the next 5 months. And like, how many people are gonna run only Garnet,
That flowchart.
hit
Rip into
Shinryu,
Llyud.
not know how to build the most basic of fucking teams, and then get frustrated and
Oh, and then you'll have to learn how to play around. Learning how to play around Force is something that took me time to learn too. So, and I have a decent understanding of the game. People are gonna bite it. I hope they monetize the fuck out of Shinryu in the beginning. By the way, they better. Please, Square Enix, there's money on the table. Woke up and chose violence. I see. Yes, this is actually Cross is not in here. This is Alphino.
Wait, where's Cross?
He was never in here.
What
He's
the
in the
fuck?
It was me the whole time that was
Wait,
talking.
so Alphino was the person I was agreeing with?
Yes.
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 Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Props to you. That makes a lot more sense.
What? What does that mean?
What is that? That could be taken a lot of ways.
What does that mean?
That's hilarious.
Was
And
I-
he
was
doesn't
I
need to
roasted?
elaborate. That's the funny part. He doesn't need to.
No, that was Cross.
Why wasn't Gilgamesh in the Millionaires Club? Funny. It's funny because I talked about how I got annoyed by people saying it unironically, and now people are saying it ironically. So it kind of just neutered it completely. Make a video and explain Brave HP. I actually wanted to, because just explaining that whole what's your like priorities, because it's Brave damage, and then capping your Brave damage, and then capping your HP damage, and then raising your HP cap. So once you're capping your HP damage, raising your HP cap's the way to go. Like that's not a very difficult concept, but some people just don't know it, and then it's how you get big numbers. I'm the only Gilgamesh fan in GL. No, there's plenty of Gilgamesh fans, and they'll tell you about it, just like you're doing right now.
I'm gonna green Gilgamesh.
The irony is that you are not the only Gilgamesh fan, but you are acting exactly like a Gilgamesh fan, because they all like to tell you that they are. Watch, they'll pop out.
Where's Gallon?
Trying to catch up on chat. Yeah, chat enjoyed that one. Rip Lock. Yeah, Garnet definitely devalued Lock. Because turns out survivability isn't as important when you can buff yourself to hell and delete everything in a couple turns.
Bosses don't fight back anyway.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
The defense
word.
ignore
Just
is
more
really
damage.
good, but how much do you really need it?
You don't.
C90 is a massive
have Garnet.
upgrade. Like,
So-
you don't need defense ignore.
You don't. It's like the Setzer in that you can not know how to buff your attack and still cut through defenses.
Like, it sounded great at first, but then as more C90s came out, that's when we realized, wait, C90s is fucking dumb.
Yeah.
And we just didn't need it anymore.
Yeah.
Just to reiterate, my famous, one of my many famous mottos is that characters are only as good as the content. Fuck what they look like on paper.
Yeah.
It's whether or not the content demands a challenge from them.
Let's see how many people are still jerking off Llyud in a couple months.
Right. So like if I was playing JP and I saw, defense ignore aura, my first thought isn't that's OP. My first thought is, how many times am I going to actually need this? At all. Period.
If
There's
it
so
weren't
many-
for C90, it would be incredible if we had gotten this at the instead of Zidane, for example. Easily would have been one of the best.
Well, yeah, of course.
BT
That's why
pluses
we didn't
ever.
get it then.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's kind of one of
Yo.
those things where you get the things that you need after you no longer need them.
Yeah, bro, Neko, I told you, bro. I told you the Gilgamesh fans would pull up. I told you because it's obvious. they just love to tell you how much they love Gilgamesh. You are not special. Trust me. Llyud
Damn, I wasn't even reading chat.
Llyud FR video was just released. I'm preemptively asleep. The Zidane shade again. Listen, we respect Zidane here. Shout out to Rala. Shout out to Indolent Lara, by the way. Let me plug his channel right quick too, because this was his dream. It's like one of my buddies was real hyped for core. And like when people get the Geo first that they want, that's always a nice feeling, you know. So shout out to
Core,
Indo.
for me, I really love core.
Yeah. So I mean,
Great
Core's
feeling.
people get the Geo.
A
first they
115 character I really wanted, and it happened.
Yeah, I will only be disappointed with characters if they're Luna Freya, or if it's Sora. Like there's a specific subset of characters that I'd bitch about, but largely, go subscribe to Indo, by the way. Largely, I'm cool with whatever they do. It's a new toy and it's enjoyable. Garnet is going to completely ruin discourse for characters over the next couple months because it's going to be just, why not just use Garnet? And the answer is, there is no good answer to that.
Get a new hobby. I think BC fucking hates when I say this. Play another fucking game then. If your life is ruined because you can't digest gacha characters, then pick up another hobby.
Yeah, play Genshin Impact. They have big titty girls.
There are
Garnet-
deeper games than this, and what I wanted to yell at BC, but I'm running out of time. I gotta go soon. I wanted to trade. I came on to trade opinions so I could be more prepared for tomorrow's show. But like, the revelation that it's so easy to sign up to JP or GL and crush all content now. Like, I don't play this game for a hardcore turn-based RPG challenge. I don't think anyone should, because it's a gacha and it's built to be crushed by money. But like, what I was gonna why I liked Crevasse so much, and talking to the people that did chase the max score, is that was a roster check, and that so many people say they play this game as a collector. And if that's true, then I think ultimate endgame for a collector is a roster check more than a mechanical check. I wanted BC's feedback on that because, again,
I mean, that's kind of
we see Spiritus, and Spiritus kind of rolls over, and I'm just like, I'm a lot happier as a player. If mechanical heavy fights come up, I'm happy, but I don't expect it. I feel more rewarded playing a gacha when the roster is tested more than an individual team. And what Crevasse provided was that it was a test. Do you have these characters? And then using those characters to chase the max score was not a pushover. So it was first a roster check, secondarily, more minorly, a gameplay check. And so like that felt very good from what type of player I am and people that I was talking. But mechanically, right, like if you want to rebuttal, like I feel like you're just going to be disappointed if you look for a mechanical check. Yeah, you can have self-imposed challenges to do so, but at a meta level, the featured character will always shit all over any challenge the game pretends to present.
Well, first off, Frog for $5. I'm going to green Greg because I'm a Greg fan. Yep, y'all were rolling deep. I'm going to push back on Spiritus rolling over because it rolls over with Tifa. That's it.
Right, and I'm saying with the featured character, any content will roll over.
Yeah. So
I'm saying
I don't want to put a blanket on that.
It is more a collector and a roster check than any gameplay mechanic ever.
And it still is a roster check at some level because you need to counter boss mechanics, so that's always going to be present. It's not a binary either. It's not a is your roster.
Oh yeah. I'm not saying binary. I'm just saying if you're picking one or the other, a roster check is more fulfilling in a gacha than a mechanical check. Okay.
Well, it's not a binary, but if you're picking one or the other, someone.
No, I mean to prioritize. Sorry, to prioritize. To prioritize.
Okay, yeah, I got you. I was messing around. Yeah, I see what you mean. Although I think if you're going to reiterate on the podcast, I'm going to emphasize that you're talking about prioritization, not one or the other, because that might get missed.
Yeah.
Excalibur saying Crevasse was a brilliant way to satisfy the people saying this game is too easy/hard, customizable difficulty. Yeah, I agree with the roster check. I would prefer the roster check manifest through mechanics. Even if I prefer like a 60-40 roster check to mechanics. I guess maybe this is kind of just a theory on the game's balance where it feels out of whack when it's either too much of a roster check and the mechanics are lacking, or too many mechanics and it doesn't really challenge your roster at all if only one person's solution. See where I'm going with that? So
and I think the solution to that, and hopefully this is what they're trying, is just multiple event types, right? So things like Equinox, Transcendence, Crevasse, and stuff. Those are the roster
different
checks.
Ways to check your roster. Yeah,
right. Those are the roster
checks.
Because
endgame, because the 6-man is kind of a roster check, although they don't do lockouts. But it's kind of like how Boss Rush used to be, where certain units were better off in Boss Rush. Right. Oh, they kind of died off. Some units are better in 6-man. Like you could just jump in, throw it out a Beatrix EX, and then block up HP damage, or a Zac BT. There's different ways to manifest the roster checks. So
and then whereas really popular for 6-man.
Yeah, and then you have the individual event, which is theoretically Spiritus, even if this Spiritus roll over with Tifa or not. Theoretically, if you make a singular hard fight every once in a while, like Spiritus, that would be more of a mechanical check. So you could have both in the game.
No, there wasn't a mechanic check there. It was just.
I'm saying check. They could use this. They could use the next one as a mechanical check.
I think you're misunderstanding how Spiritus is working.
That's fair. I don't care. Either way, they could do a very hard mechanical check, but the point is, if they don't do lockouts and every event was just a Shinryu or a Lufania Plus in global, you could just use the same meta units to stomp everything. Like if we had no lockout content for the next 5 months in GL, you wouldn't need to pull besides Garnet, because Garnet could solo literally everything. Whereas this anniversary, they're giving us 3 lockouts back to back. They're giving us Crevasse, Abyss, and then Equinox. And you can only use Garnet in one of those fights every time. Well, who knows about Abyss? I don't know. But Equinox and so that's good. If the game revolved around lockouts and roster checks, I think if the game leaned towards roster checks, it would be more rewarding all around, because then you can't just ride a handful of meta units. You would have to constantly pull and constantly update your roster. So that's why I'm saying Crevasse is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, Lufania tried to do that with the orbs, but
exactly.
It got kind of messy with BT.
Yeah, and I feel like if the game leaned harder on roster checks and lockouts, it would be more rewarding for everyone. I feel like if they didn't do lockouts and just tried to do hard fights, the roster's too large to balance that properly at this point.
Yeah.
And the people will always find a way to Rain's Mal for 5 months, or Garnet for 5 months, or whatever, right? Or Cam for 5 months. It's just people can break the game. The best way to prevent that and keep your balance is lockouts. And
I think as we get deeper into Shinryu, they'll start doing that with more varied force stuff.
Yeah.
Because there's been a lot of different cool stuff they've been throwing at Force. So reading chat, Spiritus and Transcendence can be done by the masses, but less than 20% will go for max score. I think you also are misunderstanding Spiritus. People bitching about Crevasse, so people don't. Nobody's giving the developers praise.
Are you saying Crevasse or Crevasse? Because American's Crevasse, right? That's American English.
Is this an actual word? I thought they just
Crevasse,
made it up.
yeah.
Really?
So
Yes.
I looked it up. Look, all crevasses are abysses, but not all abysses. No, all crevasses are crevices, but not all crevices are crevasses.
Crevasse.
And I
don't
also
know if
looked up the
Stream just
pronunciation.
heard that, but
Anyways.
I just did it on. It's
I gotta
Crevasse.
run.
Okay, what the fuck
Thank
up?
you. I gotta run. I'll catch the rest of the show. Thank you, Lion. Thank you, Cross. Thank you, BC. Talk to you guys later.
That one had to be on purpose.
Fucking did it again.
Oh, that one had to be on purpose.
I
Yeah,
was asked to be here, and I'm being attacked.
that's hilarious. Do you find the force teams like the 3 green staff is needed for max score? I would hate. It would be horrible. Like people are asking me what I think about Abyss. I'm not a big fan of Abyss because it ends up like bullshit. Like the Mog one where they just reskin the Dillahan, but then they slap the same fight, and then on top of that they made you bring very specific things. That the thing Bloat brought up was avenues of enjoyment. There weren't many ways to enjoy that fight. Just because it was less of a roster. It wasn't even a mechanic check. It was a hard leaning into the roster check, and the fight just fucked you. So that wasn't good. So I tend to not like Abyss in general, but because I like interacting with the boss. You know, I like seeing them do things. But I also like having to figure out the team build puzzle, and then I like having to fill out the mechanics of the boss puzzle. No fist requirement for Crevasse. Crevasse every 1 to 2 months. I mean, yeah, they could definitely stand to make more game modes. I mean, people are still, it's still going to be end game at the end of the day. Like you're not getting away from Lufenia Plus as Crevasse shown, and you're not getting away from Shinryu because Spiritus was just a Shinryu with some flavor on it, some extra spices. So you're not getting away from like the difficult stuff, which is what some people want, which I don't think is it. First Spiritus was a DPS check. Yeah, it was just raw DPS. I didn't think going for max score in the Spiritus. I mean, Jesus Christ, the Crevasse. I just heard it on the pronunciation. I got it wrong. I don't think going for max score was very enjoyable. But that's just a balancing thing. Quality of life is required, but yeah, we have been praising it. I don't know what that comment was earlier. I think we all pretty much it's unanimously enjoyed, except for people who just the only people unhappy about it are the people who are perpetually unhappy. So I don't listen to them.
JP because they don't have it.
Yep. Yeah, or JP
Party
also
use
does not have
screen.
Abyss. JP doesn't have hunts. JP doesn't have party use.
Party
screen.
use.
JP
That's the
still
one thing I
doesn't
really
have.
want.
JP doesn't have filter by Crystal. Or
They also don't have favoriting your friend supports.
Nope. And just a shit friend unit system in general. So it's still the features are still out of whack. I don't have any.
It never gets hunts.
What's it?
I hope that JP never gets hunts. I do not like this the hunt system.
Why?
I don't like being forced to spend Dissidia points. Are we talking about the daily or the weekly? Because I don't
The
like
daily.
either of those, to be honest. I don't like that I have to go into a separate screen for that versus just hitting the events tab and going in and then you're done.
Man, that's the same amount of
And then
button
it-
presses.
And then it locks you out. You can't do it multiple times in a day. Where
what,
at least
Choco
when they first introduced it, I farmed that for orbs.
I don't know. I like being able to set up a backlog. Hunts give you a
The
more
fact that it
flexibility.
does, the fact that it gives you the notification and everything, and you can do 3 of them, yes. But
I don't have any stats on Spiritus, but given that 50% of people clear Transcendence, I'm going to stop you right there and say that number is based on people who've tried, and it's not reliable in the first place. So that doesn't matter.
Oh, it's based on
and-
tries.
Yeah, it is. Also,
not
and
know
then
that.
you proceeded to say, I'm assuming a similar number for JP content. Wait, you're basing Transcendence on Spiritus clearest? What? That doesn't make any sense at all. There's no
whole load.
The two things are
logical.
very different.
Yeah, there's no logical connection there. So pretty much everything you just said was wrong. felt rather strict with a couple X3 codes. Yeah, it's just the whole bullshit of locking crystals and weapons together doesn't feel like natural. It feels like pure artificial difficulty, which I'm not a big fan of.
I do not like that either.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel entertaining to me because then I'm just running stupid stuff and it's taking longer for no real reason. Conceptually, yeah, I mean, it's a beta, so beta. Friendless still crapping JP. I haven't finished Transcendence. I love the weekly hunt. That's just the auto with 3 BT pluses. Hunter
I don't like spending 900 points to get 2.
Oh yeah, you got to spend them on that on those voice lines and those stickers instead.
Yes, exactly. I'm trying to get rid of all of those from the inventory.
Look at this
I don't
dude.
look at those anymore.
Look at this dude. I'll take my tickets. Plus, it's unlimited tickets in the hunt shop. I wonder what they'll do when 4 stars get to GL if they'll just add those to the hunt shop. You can farm co-op for orbs now with more efficient yield, and plus the World of Illusions is always up.
That's
It's always up, yeah. I ran Ace Unistrago. Rose already a bonus. Yeah, I mean, as long as it crossed the line, I just didn't care. I'm curious to see. I'll ask you guys once you actually do it, what you guys' thoughts were, because Mino was doing all the challenges and doing the max point runs, and people. I think you were required to do Garnet, Strago, and Zonde to hit triple green and triple staff on at least one of those stages. Like, everyone's running the same stages, so it doesn't feel like much of a challenge at this point. It's more of a challenge of can you run this exact team, which
about Crevasse, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like Ash, Vayne, Pain, and then Strago, because it's triple blue greatsword, and then Strago, Garnet, and Zonde, which is triple green. Then you had to do something else to get max rewards, and I just wasn't feeling it. I don't know.
Well, how many points is it for max rewards?
428.
428?
Yeah.
from max rewards.
No. My bad. It's 300 for max rewards.
300. Okay.
428 is the max theoretical points. But
Okay. I'll probably stream it one of these days, maybe the weekend or something. I think that'll be fun.
And just make sure you.
I think I would have preferred this if, like for the last fight, because I'm sitting here looking at it right now. I think I would have preferred it if instead of it being, oh, can you take 3, blue greatsword users or whatever, if they had given you a choice of 3, like a couple of different bosses that you could fight.
Well, they
and then
do that.
start messing with the orbs and stuff like that.
That's how it works.
No, I mean for the Lufenia Plus.
There's 3 different Lufenia Plus bosses.
What? Oh shit! I didn't scroll all the way down.
Whoops. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. It's the moths, it's the CPU, and it's the RNA bosses. All 3 of those are Lufenia Plus.
I'm dumb, y'all.
And then it's the parrots and the rude bosses for the regular Lufenia.
Yeah.
Actually, that more so proves my point, but it's your show, so typing out my point. What do you mean it proves your point? I said I threw out your statistics because there was no link. If you feel so strongly, you should come on and debate me, because you're not making any sense right now. So you can be part of your show too. You can't just throw out numbers and then I throw them out. You can't just make numbers up and then draw a connection and I throw out that connection because there's no actual connection and then say that proves my point. There's negative logic there. So send me a Twitter DM and we'll sort it out. I'm ending the stream though because I want to go to sleep. So closing thoughts, Lion.
Oh fuck! I don't have any closing thoughts.
Cool.
I really got nothing.
Closing thoughts.
I'm boring.
All the Zenos BT believers.
Cope, Seed, Mald, Ratio.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
I'll probably stream this weekend.
I haven't heard anything from Zenos fans since Garnet got revealed, but I also haven't been looking.
Yeah, they can finally shut up. I get so fucking annoyed every time someone says Zenos for Global First BT.
Yes.
And now that Global First actually happened, they can finally shut up, and I'm happy that it's quiet now.
Yes.
I can go back to 14 and just enjoy my game there.
It's already there. We will chat. What's already there? Did you DM me on Twitter? Because that's the only way it's gonna set it up. Cool. I look forward to it. That'll be fun. My closing thoughts are: I do have a debate thing lined up for next week, but if DK Pow is about it, we have another debate as well next week, so that'll be fun to look forward to. Zenos fans will come back they are
Story
unable to
chapter's
stop.
coming up on JP. It'll happen again.
Yeah, hopefully he'll kill their hopes when he comes to JP, and then they'll beg for maybe a GL early release.
I'll ask for him at Cell Connects.
Oh yeah, the goalpost will always shift. But that's all I got. I'm gonna go ahead and shut things down. Please simp responsibly, my friends, and have a good night. Like the video on the way out, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace. If Chrome would end the stream, please, Chrome, I'm begging you. There we go.